Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Can Mayonnaise Kill a Jedi podcast. I am your main host, the Artificial Dragon.
I'm your co-host, Darth Salim.
And welcome to episode 49 of the podcast, everybody. I got a special plan for the 50th episode.
Yes, we know.
We'll wait there until the very end of this episode. But anyway, at the time of this recording, it's just a week or so away from Halloween. But happy Hallows Eve, everybody. I hope you... Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve. Say it right!
Rage-induced Hannah aside, I hope you guys are having a wonderful Halloween, dressing up as your favorite characters / monsters, going out having, well, you're probably too old for trick-or-treating at this point, but just going around having a nice spoopy evening, having a Halloween party, watching your favorite movies with your friends for movie night, having maybe D&D sessions. I definitely know I will be having a wonderful spoopy dungeon experience with the gang in Star Wars Alternate.
That won't be on Halloween, though.
Not exactly on Halloween.
Halloween falls on a Tuesday this month, and it's fucking stupid.
Unfortunately, we can't align with Halloween exactly, but we'll be as close as we can to it, at least.
If you are a fellow pagan like me, happy Samhain.
Indeed. But anyway, so... for all of you that enjoy our content, of course, we have the obligatory Patreon at patreon.com/canmayo. Once again, that's patreon.com/canmayo, where you could contribute to any amount, the lowest being $2 and the highest being $10. And for whichever tier you contribute to, you have instant access to our Discord server, where you could talk general Star Wars lore, memes, chillax, or give us topic suggestions here and there. I know it's been pretty active recently, and for you know who you are, asking for more Empire shit from us, and we've been neglecting on that for the longest time. But yeah, let me go ahead and do a shout out for all of our smugglers. So for our newest member is Basilis Wolves. Hope I pronounced that correctly.
You never pronounce anything correctly.
I'll be quiet, Hannah. Cameron Lee, Dr. Emboss, Elia Gestapi. Well, actually, no, Elia Gestapi's not in there anymore. Kenneth Young, Leon Fott IV, Tristan H., Irk the Turtle, and Voxcast to Nowhere. Thank you all so much for contributing to the Smugglers tier, and we hope you love the content that we bring forward to the table in the next coming months.
And we always appreciate your support.
Indeed. And Hannah.
Yes, Isaac?
You know what to do.
What are we talking about today?
No. I was talking about your blog.
Oh, yes. Support my blog.
Have you answered any of my questions yet?
I have not. I'm going to.
I gave you a couple of good ones.
I swear I'm going to!
Exactly like me with my, when editing my podcast episodes. I'll get there when I get there.
Exactly.
But yes, with those, Patreon, Yuzheng Vong Warrior, Monster Girl, download her, she's good. Looking forward to the next month's Patreon RPs.
Me too.
Yeah. I got a spicy one for you, Hannah. Well, okay,
are you gonna leave it up to surprise again?
Exactly. Well, it will actually be a nice little Christmas gift when December rolls around, actually.
Okay.
But I think you'll like this upcoming one in November.
Okay.
No Nut November. But anyway, I'm pretty sure you know what today's episode is going to be about, Hannah.
We're going to be talking about Sithspawn.
Yeah,
today.
Once again, a super spoopy Halloween's episode. Last time we did urban legends and ghost stories, and the previous one we did zombies and all that stuff. And this time, we will be doing your classical mutants, monsters, and demons. So, based on the name and what you have played of SWTOR, what are Sithspawn, Hannah?
Monsters spawned through Sith alchemy, basically.
Essentially that.
And, like, magic.
Yeah.
Sorcery.
As I did my research, Sithspawn is kind of a broad term because it also includes creatures that have been created by other dark side organizations aside from the Sith. Like there are Sithspawn made by some Arcata. Of course, we got the Dark Jedi from the 100-Year Darkness before they became Dark Lords of the Sith and all that.
Then why call them Sithspawn?
It's just easier, I imagine.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, Sithspawn, you kind of nailed it right on the head. Sithspawn are basically creatures altered by Sith alchemy for use by the Sith Order.
Nailed it right on the head when I'm the local Sith expert.
The Sith simp, I gotcha.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So Sithspawn can be created in numerous different ways, like there's genetic engineering, there's pure magic involved, or just simple dark side rituals where you just summon a demon from chaos.
Or if you're going the way of the sphere of technology, which is Darth Athena's sphere, technologically advanced.
Yeah,
monsters.
exactly. There's plenty of Sithspawn cyborgs as well.
Yes.
But yeah, in other cases, you have the plagues, like the Ragul Plague. You got the Prague. You also have the Techno Beast virus, which basically transforms people into cybernetic zombie-like monsters.
Yep.
There are even cases of Sith super soldiers being qualified as Sithspawn. It's not exactly a super soldier, but as I did my research, Anakin Skywalker was qualified as a Sithspawn.
I don't know. I don't see that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll eventually go more into that when we talk about Darth Plagueis, but it was just through the machinations of Darth Plagueis kind of diddling with the Force that the Force decided, fuck you, I'm going to create the Chosen One. So it was technically by Plagueis' hand that Anakin Skywalker was created.
Technically.
Yeah,
we don't know that for sure.
But yeah, I saw that Anakin Skywalker was labeled as a Sithspawn.
Okay.
But aside from that, also it's just the basic concept that Sithspawn are created from an already existing life form. Like, when we eventually get into some Sithspawn, they are original creations, but a lot of Sithspawn are like basic mutations or just elevated forms of dark side bullshit. Like, they need a basis to create that creation.
Yeah, you need a template.
Yeah, like, it's best exemplified by legendary author of Lord of the Rings, JRR Token, where he makes the quote he makes the very potent quote of, "Evil cannot create anything new. They could only corrupt and ruin what good forces have invented or made."
God damn, he was such a great fucking author.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I could talk about Lord of the Rings all on a different fucking podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. Just be a guest star on a Lord of the Rings podcast, yeah. Did you know there's like a class that follows Lord of the Rings at NAU?
There is?
Yes, there is.
Holy shit, I know Elvish is an actual language you can learn.
Yep.
Because he made that himself.
Yeah, very true.
Fucking Tolkien, rest in peace, you are a fucking amazing artist.
You know, I remember watching an old video a while ago where Tolkien was asked, like that ending scene where the eagles go to pick up the hobbits from Mount Doom or whatever it's called.
Mount Doom.
And he was all like, so I was presented the question, why didn't they just use the eagles to drop the ring? And his answer was basically, the answer is, screw you.
Basically, yes.
Screw you. But anyway, enough about Tolkien.
It's a kid's book.
Yeah,
don't think too deep into it.
Yeah, Tolkien aside. Tolkien's quote is very exemplifies what Sithspawn are in general. Like, that's the downside with the dark side in general. Sure, it'll give you powers beyond comprehension and all that stuff. But all it can really do is just corrupt what already exists. It can't create new life.
Yeah. I mean, You can corrupt as many things as you want. You can't create something new.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I don't mean to go off topic again, but that's a very potent scene from that one novel, I can't remember, where Yoda and Count Dooku. So there's this entire conversation Dooku has, where Yoda decides, okay, I'm going to be the student to you, Count Dooku. Persuade me of why I should join the dark side. And Dooku is...
I know exactly what novel you're talking about.
Yeah,
I can't think of the name either.
Yeah, exactly. And Dooku's trying to persuade him, like, I could give you money, riches, power, beyond comprehension. And Yoda's all like, yeah, I'm not impressed with the dark side at all. Can you create something? And Dooku's kind of at a loss for words with that one. Because the light side is the only thing that could create new life. The dark side, it just corrupts and destroys everything.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a downside with, if the Sith ruled the galaxy and the dark side is, and if the light side is completely extinguished, there would be nothing for the Sith or the dark side to feed upon.
That is why there must be a balance.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the vampire dilemma. If they just rule everything and kill everybody, they'll eventually starve themselves out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't mean to go off topic, but I think
that's fine, but it helps lead into what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, the Sithspawn will eventually go into my own creation. You know it very well,
yes.
Hannah. But I used that exact quote to build upon the lore of the Sithspawn in question. Like, it can't be created out of nothing. It needs a basis. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll go ahead and shut up about that. Actually, I actually am going to use a passage from the Book of a Sith. It's a really good book, very same as the Bounty Hunters Code that we used for the Bounty Hunters episode a while back.
Just like the Jedi Code.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and talk about their entry on a Sithspawn. So let me see. No, not that one. Is it this one? Okay, so here's an entry by one of the original Dark Lords of a Sith. Her name is Sarya Zion. She is kind of known throughout the fan community as the mother of Sithspawn. Like, she's the alchemical witch person of a Sith.
Nice. So, like, Echidna, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. The 100-Year Darkness. The war in which we fought, in which many of our followers died, could have been prevented. It was the Jedi who took up arms to keep us from revealing the truth about the Force. They had been paddling in the shallows for cons. By boldly venturing into the Force's expanse, we gained powers that no Jedi had ever possessed. Life itself was at our command. It was I who grew the Leviathans, who splintered the Jedi barricades at Balmorra. I gave them the ability to swallow spirits and to store those life energies in skin blisters. The Leviathans, my exquisite monsters, were the final culmination of the Shamblers, the Howlers, the Pit Horrors, and all the other spawn I given shape and purpose to my purpose. The Jedi shun this power, as they have resisted every improvement. They caused the schism in their own ranks. Until we annihilate the old order, the pattern will continue repeating forever.
She does have a point.
She does have a point, but it kind of devolves into creating these exquisite beasts into bastardizations of what the Force is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let me go ahead and introduce several of the Sithspawn that I think are pretty interesting. And the first one that we'll explore, you might actually recognize, Hannah. The first ones that we'll be talking about are the Taka'ata, otherwise known as
the
Takata, thank you. Otherwise known as the Sith Hounds. And there's plenty of depictions of them. This one on the big one looks really freaking cool.
Yeah. They're pretty cool. They're basically Sith dogs.
Pretty much. So the Sith Hounds, obviously, are creatures native to the Sith homeworld of Korriban, where they are used for thousands of years to guard the temples of the tombs of the Dark Lords. Like, you see them pretty much everywhere on Korriban. They pretty much outlive the Sith legacy for thousands of years. The Sith Hounds are oversized creatures, bred by the Sith to be fearless and relentless, which is made more appropriate with their appearance as they possess sharp horns, long claws, and savage teeth. They are unusually intelligent, and were able to communicate with others of their kind through unknown means, and are also categorized as semi-intelligent and could speak the Sith language. It was claimed that the creature that the Sith Hounds were mutated from were a non-violent grazing animal, but through Sith alchemy, they awakened the latent parts of their brains, which caused many unnatural mutations.
Yeah, I think Sith corruption would fucking do that.
Yeah, I'm just imagining the original form of the Sith Hounds are like these gazelle-like creatures, and then they were mutated to look more like wolves and everything.
I'm surprised you didn't get a picture of one from SWTOR, because they look entirely different.
Yeah. I couldn't find any. Okay, it wasn't available on Wikipedia, but I'm sure they look drastically different if I look upon it myself. But anyway, I didn't know they were in SWTOR. It kind of escaped me, but good to know.
They're
anyway.
all over Korriban. What the fuck?
It's been a while since I played SWTOR. Leave me alone. But yeah, there have even been some cases of Sith Hounds being found within Sith tombs that were sealed away for millennia. So there are some theories that they might be simply immortal, or they just feed on the dark side of the Force itself.
Possibly.
Yeah, and kind of the Sith in general have that Egyptian vibe, but I imagine most of those Sith Hounds that were sealed away in those tombs were like former pets or something.
Possibly. They do keep them as pets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or experiment on them.
Yeah.
Like you, Lord Renning.
Yeah, though there is also the simple argument that they managed to survive due to vermin that would occasionally make their way through new openings within the tombs. So, you know, a lot of theories of what the Sith Hounds are, and what, like, there are several sources. It's kind of surprising that a lot of Jedi don't study the Sith Hounds personally, but I guess it's just bad voodoo. We don't want to be anywhere near those dark side beasts. Let me see. There have even been some cases of Sith Hounds having Sith artifacts in their bellies, as at one point Revan killed a hound and took a holocron from within its stomach.
Amazing that they are able to hold those.
Yeah, I imagine Sith Hounds are like a living treasure chest or something like that.
I don't know.
Maybe. While the Sith themselves would be extinct for numerous millennia, their faithful guardians would outlive their legacies, as they consistently remained a presence during all eras of Star Wars, like the Old Republic, the Rise of the Empire, the New Republic era, and even the Legacy era, which is like 130 years after.
Fuck, they stuck around that long?
Yeah, they are a constant presence on Korriban, no matter the era.
Did not know that.
Yeah. When I said the Sith Hounds outlived the Sith, I am not
Literally.
exaggerating. Yeah.
God damn.
I think there's like it's also kind of interesting because there are some offshoot breeds of the Sith Hounds. I think this off-breed is called Sith Hound Nobilius, who are actually a pair of Sith Hounds that got tamed by a Jedi Knight.
That's impressive.
It is very impressive, but aside from those two examples, I think it's like extremely rare for a Jedi to tame Sith Hounds. And then,
no shit.
Yeah, I think the Sith Hounds are pretty interesting. They, of course, they have the classic depiction of hellhounds and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next creature we will explore are the Chrysalids. It's just a glowing rancor, I know. But yeah, the Chrysalids, they are
That's a cool looking rancor, though.
It is pretty cool, though. You might be thinking, well, is it probably a crystallized depiction of a beast? As far as I know, no. It just happens to be called Chrysalid. It's just a much more powerful version of a creature like a ring.
With this picture that you're showing me,
Yeah.
it looks like one of the Green Lanterns just
It made a green construct.
Yes,
yeah.
made a Rancor construct.
Yeah, that's fair, but unfortunately they're just empowered versions of the beast that they were experimented on.
One can dream.
Yeah.
That's still cool, though.
It is pretty cool. So it's pretty simple. The Chrysalid creature is a creature altered by Sith alchemy, usually on Rancors, but it could be applied to other creatures such as Gundarks, the Katarns, and the Vornskers. Most of these creatures probably go right over your head, but they're just a bunch of examples of creatures in the Star Wars galaxy. It is widely believed that the Chrysalids were created during the ancient Sith Empire, where they served the Sith race as pets or protectors. The classic thing with Sithspawn and everything. And eventually, this knowledge would be lost to time. But eventually, good old Papa Palpatine found a holocron that contained the knowledge of creating Chrysalid beasts.
Oh yay, Papa Palpy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Urk the Turtle could attest to this, but Palpatine, it seems like Palpatine absolutely loves animals. He has his personal zoo and everything. Mm-hmm. And he keeps a bunch of these Rancors in his personal citadel on Biss, where he unleashes in emergencies.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
But yeah, their lore is very simple. I wish they were crystallized versions of creatures, but whatever. False advertising in my book. Next, I don't have a picture for these guys, by the way. Next are the Dark Lizards, otherwise known as Dark Devils or Dark Tongues. They are large reptilian creatures found on the planet of Almis, and they are considered non-sentient and are deprived from another creature called the Hiss.
Hiss hiss.
It's literally spelled HSSISS.
Yeah, there you get one as a mount in
Oh.
SWTOR.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cartel box open.
Yeah.
It's an Oriconian Hissis.
Okay, so you know what those guys look like.
Yes.
Now imagine them with all black scales. That's basically what the Dark Lizards look like. Like their scales, their eyes, their tongue, except for their claws. Pretty much every part of them is black.
Okay.
And they also have a prehensile tongue, a gooey. Their saliva is also black, by the way.
Ew.
Yeah, they have jagged back spines, and they even have massive wings as well to fly around.
That's weird,
It
because
is.
the mount you have, it just crawls around like a normal fucking lizard.
Yeah, this is why this is a Sithspawn version of those guys.
Fair.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's terrifying.
Yeah, these dark lizards are at least 10 feet in length, and not only fly, they gallop along the ground on all fours, but they are also amphibious. So you're not safe from these
You're
guys.
not safe anywhere.
They are trifibian creatures.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Dark lizards usually hunt in packs led by an alpha. Most individuals value the dark lizard as pets, and they were common pets for the Sith on the planet of Almis, and were even used by the local cultists as pack animals to, hunt down victims that get away from them.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, that's the
If
brief.
victim gets away, go after it.
Go.
Ah!
No, this motherfucking Mr. Burns. Release the hounds.
Just imagine that monstrous thing chasing after you.
Especially if you're trying to get away on a pure black landscape,
Yeah.
and those things are also black.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Release the dark lizards. And then next is kind of a strange one. They are called dart flowers. The dart flowers are self-explanatory. They are a small flower that is considered semi-sentient, and they are native to the Sith world of Drom and Kaz. You don't find them in SWTOR, unfortunately. And they are known to launch poisoned thorns at anybody that approached them. While it is unknown if they were merely flora corrupted by the dark side naturally or were alchemically created, the dart flowers were said to be malevolent with hints of sentience. So it's more of a, Yeah, don't approach these flowers, otherwise they'll throw thorns at you. Like, fuck off.
Oof. Hey, that's a nice way. I could think of Poison Ivy defending her
Yeah.
garden like that.
Yeah, pretty much. And then next, fortunately I do have a picture of this guy. Next are what are known as the, Storm Beasts. Where the fuck is the picture? There it is. Yeah, imagine a gigantic crocodilian motherfucker, but as a human.
Ooh. King Croc on steroids.
King Croc on steroids.
Or no, Killer Croc.
Killer Croc, yeah. Killer Croc on steroids. The Storm Beasts are Sithspawn native to the planet of Malachor 5. And if Malachor 5 sounds familiar, that's the final battle of the Mandalorian Wars. Mm-hmm. Where Revan used the mass shadow generator to fuck up the atmosphere of that planet.
Yep.
And yeah, these guys were a direct creation of a mass shadow generator.
Oh shit.
Yeah, these guys were originally the apex predators of that world, but ever since the dark side became prominent, they got mutated by it, and it didn't help from the mass shadow generator, mutating them even further.
Okay.
And then next Sithspawn is actually kind of interesting. These guys are called the Derafins, and they're kind of most of these Sithspawn are more animalistic looking. These guys are just literal black hole things.
It just looks like a black ball of energy. Like, fucking, what, people a key ball that you charge up in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, like the motherfucking plasma balls and everything.
A key ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Derafin, as you saw there, they're described as miniature black stars that are rolling with energy, and their name originates from the Sith word of devourer. The Derafin is capable of consuming the thoughts and experiences of living beings, as you see those two are doing to that poor Keldor Jedi there.
Yeah.
Yeah, until eventually the life form is nothing but an empty shell. And then the Derafin just fucks off and finds its new victim. In order to accomplish this, the Derafin in question would take possession of their victim and slowly leech off of their life energy. Mm-hmm. So these are like not literal, but essentially body snatchers, basically.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I need to watch that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. So yeah, they just slowly absorb the memories of its victims over time. And despite they may not look intelligent, but they are sentient, by the way.
I mean, it's Star Wars, so a crystal can be sentient. Why the fuck can't these things be sentient?
And they are Sithspawn, so the common theme with Sithspawn is that they're a better version of an existing creature, like through brute strength or through intelligence, that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know what the Derafin were originated from. I assume they're like demons or something. Or pure embodiments of the dark side. I'm not
They
too
don't
sure.
look like anything I know.
Yeah.
They just look like balls of ki.
Yeah. There's even like a RPG series that introduces one of the Deraphins, which goes by the name of Zykios, who is described to be highly intelligent. It was more reserved and emotional than the rest of its kind. He preferred, or it more accurately, preferred preying on females and humanoids over men and aliens. So it loved preying on the more vulnerable people. Devouring its victims behind closed doors, performing memory wipes on them to keep a low profile as it slowly ate more of its victims' memories over time. But yeah, I think these guys are pretty interesting. I think they would be kind of cool for that intrigue. Like, that person is kind of tired. What's going on with her? Just probably fatigue or something. And then later you find out that she's just having her brain literally sucked melted by a Darafem, and then you have to fight it.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, it does not sound fun. It would make a great mystery campaign, though. You gotta admit.
Yes, it would.
Yeah. even though the Derafem is the Sith name of Devourer, next is, well, the Devourer. Let me go ahead and share a quick picture of him. The Devourers are native to the moon of Onderon called Doxin.
Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of weird looking fuckers.
Yeah, they're pretty weird looking.
Yeah. There's not too much lore on them, except that they're native to the Onderon's moon of Doxin, which has the nickname of the Demon's Moon. It's called the Demon's Moon because it contains many carnivorous life that occasionally go to Onderon itself and devour its native life forms and anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
The Devourers themselves, they would actually encounter Exar Kun when he entered the tomb of Frieden Nad. And of course, they would try to kill Exar Kun, and Exar Kun would kill them right back.
Oh, speaking of Frieden Nad, I opened a cartel pack last night.
Yeah.
I got his armor set.
Nice. So you got the spiky shoulders and everything, huh?
And the fucking wings.
Yeah.
It looks so ridiculous.
It is so ridiculous, yeah. Pretty cool, though.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to put it on any of my Sith, but we'll see.
And the Devourers would also kind of change the course of galactic history because Mandalore the Indomitable, the current the then leader of the Mandalorians at the time, was stranded on Doxin after a failed raid on Onderon.
Oh, shit.
Onderon. And he would actually be quartered by a couple of Devourers, and, he would die by their claws.
Oh, that's a shit way to go.
Yeah, at least he went down fighting, though.
Yeah.
And then eventually, a Mandalorian warrior found his mask and became his successor, Mandalore the Ultimate.
Mandalore the Ultimate is so cool.
Yeah, he's... As much as a genocide maniac as he is, his armor looks so dope.
It is.
But yeah, we'll save that for a Mandalorian episode.
When?
And then next is what is called the Dream Beast.
The Dream Beast?
The Dream Beast.
I did guess who what I immediately thought of.
Freddy Krueger.
Yep.
I mean, you're kind of in the right concept. Despite its name, it doesn't exactly go into your dreams. But the Dream Beast, I'm not quite sure why it's called that, but the Dream Beast does not possess a true physical form. It looks different depending on who views it. Because, maybe for you, it basically manifests into the individual's greatest fear, basically.
So it's like living fear toxin.
Pretty much,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
I keep referencing fucking DC, but it works,
Yeah, maybe for you, it would look like a giant spider. Or maybe for another person, it will look like a giant fucking snake. It's very malleable. It doesn't have a clear form.
It's like... Oh god, pump this thing full of fear toxin and wonder what happens.
The Dream Beast can be killed, but yeah, most of the wounds inflicted by the Dream Beast usually appears within the mind of a subject, because when you kill a Dream Beast, your wounds inflicted by it just go away. Mm-hmm. So it's more of a mental feeling than anything else. Mm-hmm. And, an encounter with a Dream Beast usually leaves its victim with deep mental trauma, and sometimes render its victims mentally unstable in the future.
That sounds terrible for a victim of PTSD to get to run into one of those.
Yeah, encountering a Dream Beast is not a fun time. Mm-mm. It would be actually pretty cool to invent one of these guys in a D&D campaign.
Oh dear God.
But anyway,
don't you get any ideas?
Hey man, last Halloween I was talking about the motherfucking space raves and the Star Wars, and I have yet to introduce those guys in the campaign.
True.
But who knows? We're in the end game section right now, but we'll see what happens from here. But anyway, the next Sithspawn I think will be kind of interesting. These guys are called the Imperial Sentinels. And these guys are big motherfuckers. They are literal giants.
Oh, God.
They completely dwarf Princess Leia there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Imperial Sentinels are warriors that are created to serve the Emperor's dark side adepts as their personal bodyguards. While they are a mystery to even the highest echelons of the Empire, even the Imperial Sovereign Protectors, who are basically like the most elite of the Emperor's Red Guard, you know, those red clad...
Yep.
Yeah. They don't know shit about the Imperial Sentinels. They are a complete enigma to them.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but...
And they're some of the most high-ranking people in the Empire.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much only Palpatine and his dark side adepts know what these guys really are.
Jesus.
Yeah, but let me go ahead and go around the curtain for you, Hannah. In actuality, the Sentinels are early experiments of Palpatine who wanted to create a race of beings completely subservient to the will of himself and his trusted dark side adepts. So apparently Darth Vader was going to possess 2 of these guys for himself. The Sentinels are cloned from tissue stock, where chemicals were introduced into their bodies during the gestation period, suppressing higher mental abilities such as speech, meaning they are permanently incapable of speech, basically.
Okay.
They are just mute giants. As they continued to grow, they would be mutated further by the dark side, mostly by the dark side adepts that Palpatine would give these giants to, and they utilize Sith alchemy as a way of forming a bond between these Sentinels. If this ritual proved successful, the Sentinels would end up mindless living husks, entirely depending on the individual it was bonded to for purposes of, commanding them to do whatever. They're completely mindless living machines, basically.
Yeah, like mechs.
Pretty much. If the bonding process proved unsuccessful, the specimens would simply be disposed of.
Fair enough.
The first generation of these Sentinels were deemed too dangerous to keep around, which caused rumors to spread that they were cloned from deceased Force sensitives, though later generations were, less powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Gargantuan in size, the Sentinels are easily distinguished from any of Palpatine's other minions, for obvious reasons. Hidden underneath their long, reddish-purple cloaks. They are, as you can see with their designs, they have the cloaks, which have intricate golden patterns on their chest, back, shoulders,
Isaac's having a stroke, don't mind him.
Yeah, even with that little thing out of the way, you don't know what these motherfuckers look like. The only indication of what they might look like is their glowing red eyes.
Yeah.
They wield large vibro axes, though they are also proficient in blasters and are trained in both martial arts and beast riding. They are known only to guard Palpatine's citadel on Biss and one of the more private areas of the Imperial Palace on Coruscant. Yeah, I think these guys are pretty cool. Just the mere concept that they're bonded to their chosen dark side adept that they were designed to protect is a really cool concept for me. Like, they're literally extensions of your will and all that stuff. Aside from that, you have like 2 literal giants at your beck and call, which I think is pretty cool. And then next, in the more super soldier side of things, are Darth Mechas's Sith Knights. They're basically like dark side cyborgs, as you'll see in the image right there. If you recall, Darth Mechas is the former head of the Sphere of Technology. She's that creepy looking bitch with the cybernetics and everything.
I don't know if I ever saw her, because all I knew was that Asina, took her place.
Yeah, Asina took her place, but yeah, she's that decrepit. Okay, you might not recall the Dark Council episode, but yeah, she's the creepy bitch.
The Dark Council episode has been a while ago.
Oh, a good while ago, but I'll go ahead and share what she looks like again.
Oh, I see now.
Yep. Yeah, she's a creepy bitch.
Yeah, she's creepy.
But yeah, the Sith Knights are an army of cyborgs, which house the tormented brains of captured Jedi, who were personally corrupted and altered by Darth Mechas herself. Like, you remember that particular side mission on Dromund Kaas, where you're sent to I forget the name of the Sith, but you were tasked by an Imperial officer who lost a couple of her men, and then you find the brains of her soldiers and these droids, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, think of that, but with Jedi.
Lord Grathan did that.
Yeah, think of that, but with tormented and corrupted Jedi.
Jesus.
Yeah, she, cut out their brains and put them in these cyborg warriors.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. They even have their own mantra, which is, quote, "There is no emotion, there is submission. There is no ignorance, there is instruction."
Jeez.
Yeah, these guys are pretty fucked up.
That's sad.
Yeah. The Sith Knights served as agents of Darth Mechas' will and were equipped with electro-staff-like weapons and possessed cloaking devices. Fortunately, there's not much more after, Farron killed her ass and everything. Mm-hmm. But I think they're pretty interesting in how fucked up the Sith are as a whole.
Yeah.
And the next one I think you're pretty familiar with, a Sithspawn known as the Monoliths. They're everywhere on what was that Sith world again? That one Sith world that Darth Vitiate consumed in the cinematics.
Nathema?
Nathema, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these motherfuckers, there we go. Yeah, these are a Sithspawn created personally by Darth Vitiate himself.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I remember these things.
So, the Monolith is a Sithspawn, as I said, personally created by Darth Vitiate himself during his time on Ziost. And uniquely, unlike most Sithspawn that are mutated or alchemically warped versions of existing creatures, the Monoliths are said to be sculpted from the dark side itself. So apparently Vitiate has godlike powers that allowed him to create life in this instance.
He's immortal, so...
Yeah.
He probably learned a thing or two.
Yeah, as Vitiate grew in power, and after devouring all of Ziost,
Nom 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 nom.
nom 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 nom, he created larger and larger monoliths. Two known creatures are named the Colossal Monolith, and the largest one being the World Breaker Monolith. Yeah, these things are terrifying, and they're one of the few creatures that have survived the barren and lifeless world of Ziost. Mm-hmm. And let me see. Of course, I'm not going to talk too much about the rat ghouls. I've already talked about them in the zombies episode and all that. But I will be talking about their offshoot, the neck ghouls.
I've heard of the net ghouls. I don't know much about them.
Yeah, the neck ghouls are a more evolved and intelligent strain of a rat ghoul that were isolated on Terrace for centuries. For the longest time, the rat ghouls were the only life form on Terrace after, the inhabitants got bombarded and consumed by the rat ghoul plague and everything. Mm-hmm. Since they are larger and smarter than the average rat ghoul, it gives the suggestion that they are an entirely different species of a rat ghoul. Like, they evolved naturally and these more intelligent beings.
Oh, no, I think you come across these in one of the class stories. I just can't remember which one.
Yeah, the neck ghouls have... Okay, so they kind of have a little trade-off. The neck ghouls are much more intelligent. They could speak. They lose their cousin's ability to infect other people with rat ghoul plague.
Okay, so they're harmless.
Yeah, well,
Ish.
Harmless is a light term, Hannah.
They won't spread the plague.
Very true. Though, what truly set the rat ghouls apart from their more savage counterparts was the ability to utilize the Force. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though they are considered untrained and use the Force in more violent applications, making them lean more to the dark side.
Well, no shit.
Yeah, yeah. While they are capable of speech, they had no recorded nor remember their origins or how they came to be, so they don't exactly have a focused culture, so to speak. they kind of just do their own thing, even though they do have the potential to create their own culture as their own sentient race and everything. Which I think is kind of a missed opportunity that SWTOR missed out on with the
Yeah,
Ned
they
Ghouls.
did.
Yeah.
But you can only put so much into a class story.
Yeah. There's also a theory that they were previous Jedi or Sith inhabitants that were infected by the Ragul plague. And due to their stronger presence in the Force, the wording here is that basically they gradually lose their savage self and become more of what they were originally in life.
Okay.
Which I think is kind of an interesting concept. Like, I love that idea. Like, even though they were consumed by the zombie plague, they just have that sort of willpower to kind of bring their consciousness back up to the surface.
Yeah.
And then, let me see. At one point, the Ned Ghouls obtained a holocron of a Jedi named Bayon Soy, who attempted to try teaching the Ned Ghouls in the way of a Force, very unsuccessfully. And another Jedi Master by the name of Sulion attempted to train the Ned Ghouls in the way of a light side with some degrees of success. I think he's like a Nautilin Jedi that tried to train his own Ned Ghouls. And you literally have like the dark side choice, you kill him and the Ned Ghouls. The light side choice, you spare him and the Ned Ghouls kill his ass, basically.
I still can't remember what fucking class story it is.
I think it's like a general all-class story, dark side and all that stuff.
And it's not the story arc. I don't know.
I do remember for the Republic Trooper campaign, one of your old squad mates worked with the Ned Ghouls to weaponize the Ragul plague and all that.
Guess how long it's been since I've completed the Trooper.
Fair enough, Hannah, fair enough. But yeah, I think the Ned Ghouls are kind of interesting, like an extension more on the Ragul's, and as they are as a separate race, so to speak. And speaking of the Ned Ghouls and the Ragul's in general, they have an even bigger subspecies called the Eyeless, which I think is kind of a redundant title considering all of them are eyeless. These things are big, hulky boys. They're like a Rancor big.
Ew.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. They don't have eyes.
Yeah. The Eyeless are another example of a Ragul subspecies, but obviously they are larger and bulkier than their smaller cousins.
They're all wrinkly and gross.
Yeah. They could be found mainly in the Ragul tunnels, where the Ragul plague is the most prominent on Terrace. Scientists debate the function of the Eyeless, with some claiming that they are the source of a Ragul infection itself, while others say the Eyeless are the next evolutionary step of the Ragul. So
Probably.
in the similar vein to the Ned Ghouls, I assume the Eyeless are like Unga Bunga Go Smash path of the Raguls. But yeah, I was going to go away from the Raguls. Next are what is called the Rak-Sakari, which translates to Dream Singer in the Sith language. Rak-Sakari. That just rolls off the tongue so well. Raku-Sakari. So yeah, the Raku-Sakari are a dark side twisted of an insectoid creature called the Daura, native to the Outer Rim world of... Oh my god, I'm going to butcher that word, so I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it.
Let me see.
Upekzar.
I said let me see it!
Alright, it's this one I'm highlighting right now.
Upexar.
Apexar?
Apexar.
Apexar. Okay. Yeah, it's a weird word.
Yeah, very weird.
Apexar, the Outer Rim world of Apexar.
Oh no, it's not canon, so I don't know.
So yeah, the Dream Singers are described as being more than 6 feet tall, possessing a black-blue carapace, and had 6 legs that ended in hooks, along with two-pronged tail extensions with pinchers at each end. Their carapace is thick enough to resist lightsaber strikes and can produce pheromones that created horrifying hallucinations to mammalian races.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, a lot of Sithspawn in general are no bueno in general, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention. Sithspawn is a slur commonly used by Chrysalids.
I think I've heard them say it sometimes in the
You
story.
You bloody Sithspawn. And then the next one are the Suliath. These guys are, if you hate bugs, you'll hate these guys specifically. They're like a giant crab, spider-looking fuckers.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's terrifying, and they look fucking huge compared to the
They
people in
are
this picture.
big.
Yeah, how about no?
The Suliath are a large beetle Sith spawn created by the Sith Empire as war beasts. Originally created from a beetle the size of a womp rat that were known to be docile and inhabited swamps.
Jesus.
Then the Sith came along and decided to diddle the bug and make it even bigger and more aggressive.
They decided to fuck with nature.
Yeah, pretty much. The god complex is strong within these Sith.
Yep.
So yeah, they changed them into ferocious and predatory killers the size of a bantha that relentlessly attacked anything and anyone until they were dead or destroyed. Yeah. They are known to clatter their mandibles loudly before attacking and are commonly using their acid to weaken their prey and use their massive jaws to crush them.
They have acid.
They have acid.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, a lot of these,
Even more nope.
Nope. The Suliath are infamously difficult to control. Even their own creators had difficulties restraining the giant beetles.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, aside from the violent nature of its creation, the Suliath can barely see 32 feet in front of them even during the nighttime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In the history of the galaxy, an army of Suliath were left behind on a planet of Kelsinar, following a massive battle there, and the descendants would continue to ravage the surface of the world. Mm-hmm. But, very fortunately, the location of this planet would remain unknown to the rest of the galaxy.
That's good.
But there have been rumors of smugglers coming across a world that is rumored to be swarmed with gigantic beetle-like creatures.
Ugh.
Yeah, these things are no fun at all.
No.
Now to the more fun part of a Sith spawn. We have what is called the Sith Familiar.
They have familiars?
Yep, they do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The Sith Familiar has the appearance of a small scavenger bird, which were created by the Sith to be trusted companions.
Well, yeah, as any familiar would be.
Yeah, and just like familiars, they have this huge bond between them and their Sith masters, and they had the ability to use any force ability that their masters knew. Mm-hmm. And
That's cool.
And in turn, their master could see and hear everything the familiar does. So classic D&D familiar, basically.
Yeah.
The familiars are usually brought into existence via Sith alchemy from information recorded on scrolls or holocrons, and through the process, which is fairly expensive, requiring 10,000 credits worth of material and alchemy apparatuses. Even though it costs a good amount, the familiar is incredibly fragile and could be easily damaged in combat.
That sucks.
Just like normal familiars.
Just like normal familiars.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool that the Sith do have familiars, though.
That is cool. I like that.
Yeah. And then the
Makes me want one now.
Yeah. Maybe in the future when we do a evil campaign or something. But anywho, next we have what is called the Sith War Behemoth. Yeah, the ancient Sith Empire used a lot of beasts of burden and everything. And, yeah, this thing looks like a giant Triceratops looking fucker.
Ah, God damn it, I accidentally closed the app. It looks like an emaciated Triceratops.
Yeah, it kind of does, yeah.
With mammoth horns.
Yeah. The War Behemoth is one of the many Sith spawn created as war beasts, mostly as a beast of burden, having many purposes, such as carrying troops into battle, bringing heavy weapons, and it can be used as living battering rams.
They look big enough, too.
Yeah, they are big, chunky boys. These creatures were originally peaceful herbivores, native to the world of Kara Dalaba, within the Sith region of space. And and, normal Sith diddling transformed them into more aggressive war beasts.
Of course.
And they turned them from herbivores to omnivorous creatures.
So they both meat and plants.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the next Sith war beast is what is called the Sith Warbird. And I like to think of these guys as basically, why am I the Big Bird from Sesame Street on crack?
It looks like it.
Yeah, they are big parrot boys.
Looks like that one, second and third picture uses mounts, and I want one.
Yeah.
That would be so fun!
It looks like it should be a mound in SWTOR by now. But I guess the knowledge has been lost for the past millennia.
Maybe.
Yeah. They are a species of flightless bird native to the planet of Cara Delaba, which is where the war behemoth came from. And it is commonly used as an artillery mount. When fully grown, they stand at almost 20 feet and had a length of 32 feet from nose to tail, and are notoriously known for their bad temper, as they would attack anything they saw as a threat.
Oof.
Despite their size, they lacked raw power, but they are capable of moving with great speed and agility, being able to ram and trample anything in their way through what is known as they are known to gore their enemies with their massive beak.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you do not want to fuck with this big bird.
Imagine just trying to get somewhere you need to go, and it's like, go!
Just like,
Stop, 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 stop!
And the next one is what is called the Sith Worm.
Worm?
Worm. W-Y-R-N.
Oh.
Or M, sorry.
Literally a worm?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the exact creature that Exar Kun killed when he was going to be sacrificed in that Sith temple on Yavin 4. Yeah, the Sith Worm is a creation of Naga Sidao during his exile to Yavin 4. After his failure with, doing the classical JoJo family technique and running away. He specifically experimented on a baby Exegorth, which is the space worms from Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. Which happened to be attached to his capital ship. And he decided to, diddle it with Sith alchemy, the classic Sith thing.
Fuck it, I'm already banished, might as well to give it a shot.
Yeah, and the Sith Worm in particular was designed as a guardian for his temples. Over the millennia, the local Masasi would worship the Sith Worm as a deity, and would even be used to sacrifice the future Sith Lord Exar Kun to. And then, of course, he obliterated it into oblivion.
Yeah.
While it
watch the Exar Kun episode.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's good.
He's the most charismatic motherfucker out of there.
And you get to hear me simp over him.
Another Sith Lord aside from Dooku and Vitiate that you simp for.
Well, I simp for Thrawn too, and he's
that
not a
is
Sith
true.
Lord.
That is true, yeah. While it seemed that the Sith Worm was a unique specimen, many other Sith Worms would be hunted by the Jedi during an event called the Great Hunt. Most likely meaning that Naga Sidao's soul experiment isn't unique. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think, a lot of these are it gives me vibes of the purple worm from D&D.
I was about to say, it looks like the purple worm, just give it a sea dragon head.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or face.
Yeah. Am I forgetting anything else? No, I don't think so. And next we have what is called the Smoke Demon. Yeah, this is one of those Sithspawn that's just summon demon from chaos.
Okay, typical fucking demon.
Yeah. Smoke demons are a dark side entity that could be summoned by Sith sorcery by metamorphosis into their target's greatest fear and vaporize their bodies in the process. They are uniquely called the Saksawa in the Sith language. They are summoned via an ancient ritual called Datsekiwala, which is literally translated to summon demon. So, the classic
Very original.
The classical
D&D
spell, just summon demon. They manifest as mere smoke before assuming a defined shape, before attempting to paralyze their targets. Once successful, they flow into the body of their victim. and then be absorbed into the demon via turning it into smoke.
Yeah.
So they literally suffocate their victims with their bodies.
That's a terrifying way to go.
Yeah, very terrifying. Despite being a smoke-like entity, it has enough physical strength to match a Wookiee in hand-to-hand combat.
Well, excuse me.
And while they cannot speak verbally, they can still communicate telepathically.
Because why not?
Yeah, why the fuck not? And I'm pretty sure you are very familiar.
Judging by the way that comic panel looked, that's Legends.
That is Legends. That's like one of the original Marvel comics back in the day when Star Wars was new. And the next one I think you'll be very familiar with, the Tarantatok.
Yes, you fight a lot of these on Korriban and Droman Kaas.
Yeah, they are literally everywhere in the galaxy.
Oh, they suck. Especially if you're underleveled or undergeared for the boss fight.
Yeah.
Like a dumbass.
Yeah. The Tarantatok is a Sithspawn that is rumored to originally be created by the Rancor, because they have very similar looks to the Rancor itself.
A bit, but not really.
Not really, no. While it is unknown, like I said, it's rumored that they were created by the Rancor. It is unknown of which animal they were originally created from. What is apparent is that the Tarantataks would hibernate during dormancy, when the dark side was less powerful. Like, when the Sith were extincted into oblivion by Darth Bane, they basically hibernated, just waiting for the next Sith Lord to pop out and rule the galaxy and spread the dark side across.
Yep.
Yeah, these things are usually like omens for the rise of powerful Dark Lords or Sith empires, if you will. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Tarantataks are most infamous because they love drinking the blood of Force sensitives. That's like their favorite food.
I did not know that.
Yep, they literally drink on the blood of Force sensitives. Yeah.
Another not good way to go.
Yeah.
Fucking dumb ways to die in Star Wars.
The Tarantataks have highly venomous tusks and claws. While most are credited as a creation of Exar Kun himself, the Tarantataks have their origins tracing all the way back to the Jedi Order.
Wow.
Yeah, they were originally created as basically living, kind of like how dogs kind of sniff around for explosives and drugs at the airport. Mm-hmm. They were basically created during the Despot War as basically explosive detecting creatures. But yeah, most of that knowledge has been lost to time, and it would be kind of ironic for the Sith to find out that it was the ancestors of the Jedi that created the Tarantataks in the first place.
Yeah, it's something they probably teased the Jedi over.
Yeah, and their original name under the Jedi Order would be the Taranta.
Okay.
Yeah. However, even though they were designed to, go after bombs and everything, they would slowly develop a taste for Force-enriched meat, and thus began targeting Force users. And, the Jedi were like, fuck this, we're gonna deposit all these guys on the moon of Bogan. That way, they don't harm anybody else except for the criminals that deserve to be there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, pretty much. The first recorded encounter of a modern-day Tarantatok would be on the world of Droman Kaas during the early reign of Vitiate's Sith Empire, while clearing the section of jungle and killing any hostile life that existed there.
Yeah.
So apparently the Tarantataks were just a natural
They were
form.
there.
They were always there for some reason. I'm not too sure how.
Yeah, because you run into one on not a side mission, but a heroic mission.
Yeah, okay.
You have to gather all these runes that have parts of the Sith code.
Yeah.
It's a simple puzzle if you know the Sith code.
Yeah.
You fight it.
Yeah. There's also some sources conflicted. Saying the Tarantatok was also a natural evolution of wildlife on Korriban itself.
Could be.
Yeah, like there's the existence of a named Tarantatok called the Beast of Marka Ragnos.
A very fitting fucking name. God damn.
Yeah, it is. And as the name implies, it does guard the tomb of Marka Ragnos himself.
Nobody even knows where his fucking tomb is.
Yeah. But let me see. Regardless of the source, of which source is true, aside from, the Jedi being the ones creating them, the Tarantatux have become one of the most dangerous creatures ever created by the Sith. So much so that they were often coined as Jedi killers. And Kuhn,
very ironic.
Yeah. And Kuhn himself would often unleash these monsters to destroy Jedi outposts across the galaxy.
Fitting.
And they would last long after Exar Kuhn's brief legacy. A Tarantatug would still prove dangerous to all of the galaxy, which caused the Jedi Council to authorize an event called the Great Hunt, in an attempt to drive the Sithspawn to basically extinction.
Let me guess, did it work?
A majority of the Tarantatux were killed, but a majority of them just went into hibernation, basically. While the Jedi, okay, I already explained that, they would boom in numbers during the rise of numerous Sith Lords, such as Darth Revan, Darth Vitiate, and Emperor Palpatine.
Of course, why the fuck not? Why does Palpatine need more things to control? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, as I said before, the Tarantatux are just an omen of when shit is going down, basically.
Or when shit has hit the fan.
Yeah, pretty much.
God damn.
I do think it's pretty cool. I think I also remember somewhere that they were directly inspired by the Umber Hulk from D&D. Okay,
I don't know what that looks like.
Okay, I'll show you real quickly what a Umber Hulk looks like.
Quick pause.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh, we fought one of those, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh shit.
I think it tried to drag me in the tunnel when I was Gust a little while ago.
Yeah, in the Hollow Knight. Yes.
Alright, the Tarantatug. Next, we have what is called the Leviathan. Probably one of the larger Sithspawn that you'll ever see depicted. And these guys, as you probably recall from when I was talking about the Book of the Sith, are the personal creations of Sarya Zion, the mother of the Sithspawn herself. Mm-hmm. And these guys are big. They're like more chunky versions of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Wow. Yeah, that's another nope.
Yeah. The Leviathans are an ancient species of bioengineered serpentine creatures that were created by the Dark Jedi during the 100-Year Darkness. The Leviathans were created as, quote, living superweapons, and especially drew on the life energies of enemies. They would do the classic Shang Tsung thing of saying, your soul is mine. Yeah, like, you probably can't see it in most of their pictures, but they have like a large spine, and their spine contains the souls of all the victims they have consumed.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, these things
really
are...
cannot see that.
Yeah. Let me actually show you a picture of a Jedi puncturing one of these blister backs.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the Leviathans are pretty hardcore.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they literally absorb the souls of any that oppose them.
Yep. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
As you saw did I send that picture? Yeah. That little serpentine is what their larva looks like.
Ew.
Yeah, eventually they would grow up really quickly into this more bipedal-looking creature with 4 smaller limbs and 2 tentacles around its jaws.
And then they grow into the big fucker.
Yeah, the big fucker. The hide of a Leviathan is incredibly tough, which made them able to walk through lava unscathed.
Oh boy.
So yeah, these guys can take a literal lava bath and not be affected by it. Mm-hmm. Let me see. The Leviathans, despite having a massive girth, are deceptively agile and are more than capable of outrunning most prey. So imagine this giant chunky thing just right towards you.
No. Thank you.
They also have the ability to breathe fire.
Oh, Because why the fuck not?
Yeah, Sarya Zion was probably on crack when developing this thing.
Some kind of drug.
Yeah, some kind of drug, as is the way of the Sith and everything. When a Leviathan kills a being and stores their life essence into their blister traps, it provides not only nourishment, but it also gains the knowledge and intelligence of their victims.
Wow.
Yeah, so the literal Shang Tsung thing, where he utilizes the soul of those he's consumed.
Oh yeah. This is fucking legends, man.
Yeah, it's the best kind of crack, I swear to God. The Leviathan has the cognitive intelligence and reasoning of a non-sentient pet. Even though they do have the souls that they utilize from, they mostly act like dogs, basically.
Okay, so they're intelligent, but they
don't have reasoning skills like you and I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, they might be smart enough to know how to counter your attacks and everything like that, but they're not smart enough to pilot a plane or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Though the Leviathan, due to all the souls that it has consumed, the Leviathan can interfere with the senses of nearby Force users, as the Force user is hearing the countless screams of the Leviathan's victims in their head.
Yet another thing that makes this thing fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and it would produce throbbing headaches and trigger obsessive behavior around making the pain stop. Like either running the fuck away or going on the back of a Leviathan and freeing the souls within. So it could work both ways, in all honesty. The Leviathans could, very much like the Tarantatak, they could hibernate for millennia at a time before the presence of prey causing them to reawaken.
Please tell me Palpatine doesn't get one of these.
As far as I know, no.
Thank God.
But they did exist around that era.
Oh my God.
Because members of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Praxium encountered one.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. While it may seem like an unstoppable juggernaut, the Leviathans can be slain through enough lightsaber strikes and could be easily destroyed by concentrated turbo laser fire or force lightning.
Okay.
So you basically need weapons that basically destroy starships to kill this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Sith lightning. It'd be like, unlimited power!
Yeah, but Sith lightning is... That could hurt.
Yeah, pretty much. Let me see. The Leviathans prove to be a fearsome creature, and Sithspawn that, Sarya Zion herself, having a personal pet Leviathan, she lovingly names, I'll go ahead and send a picture of her personal Leviathan. There he is. Yeah, look at this fucker. It is big.
Oh my God.
And she named this specimen Chrysalids the Ever Hungry.
He looks hungry.
Yeah.
He's got 4 eyes. Oh my God. That's a lot of teeth.
A lot of teeth, and even its motherfucking head is bigger than her right in front of it.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Imagine
That's
that.
what I think King Ghidorah's one of King Ghidorah's heads would look like.
Oh, yeah.
Up close.
Could you imagine having one of these things as your personal pet?
That's very ballsy.
It is pretty ballsy. But yeah,
I mean, she probably has to have no fear.
no, she does not. She loves doing a lot of experimentation and bullshit.
Fair enough.
I think if I remember her lore correctly, she was the one that invented the Sith code.
Oh.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, she's kind of an interesting character. She's kind of insane, but yeah, she's pretty interesting.
What Sith isn't?
You know, that's fair. Except for motherfucking Darth Mar. He's not insane.
Mar is not insane.
Yeah.
Props to the Chad.
Yeah. Soon, this Leviathan would have a subspecies called the Sea Leviathan.
Fucking... Is that where Subnautica got it from?
I would not doubt that. And this is what it looks like, the Sea Leviathan. Still a bit chunky.
Yeah. That's another nope.
Yeah, the Sea Leviathan is actually a more recent addition to the Leviathan. It was created by a Sith scientist named Vo Espen, who is a Sith scientist under the One Sith by Darth Krayt in the Legacy era of the Sith. The Sea Leviathan would be unleashed upon the seas of Mon Cala to help commit genocide on the Mon Calamari.
'Cause why not?
Because why the fuck
They've already
not?
tried to kill the Mon Calamari before.
Though fortunately, even though the Leviathan ate a lot of Mon Calamari souls, as you saw there, it would be killed by an Imperial Knight who controlled a school of devil squids that dragged the large creature to the depths below.
So it drowned.
It got ravished to pieces.
Oh, shit.
By a bunch of giant squids, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. Went out in a pretty metal way.
Yeah, that is pretty metal.
Yeah, if you were impressed by the Leviathan, also it was kind of nice that you mentioned King Ghidorah earlier, because we are about to talk about what is called the Battle Hydra.
Hey, just give it one more head and it's King Ghidorah.
Yeah. Probably one of the cooler looking Sithspawn in my opinion. Mostly because I love dragons, that's a personal bias of mine.
Well, no shit, artificial dragon.
Touché, Hannah. The Battle Hydra is a large reptilian dragon-like creature created by good old Mega Chad Exar Kun himself during his brief reign as Dark Lord of the Sith.
The heads on the second one look like they could be in a cartoon.
They could be, yeah.
That's cool, I like that.
A Battle Hydra has the common characteristics of a two-headed dragon-like creature that possess two leathery wings, but no two Battle Hydras are the same. Mm-hmm. Each one of them are unique. Like a clear reference to King Ghidorah, there's one that's described as having 3 heads.
Oh shit!
And it doesn't have any front forelimbs either.
Aww.
But it still has 2 legs, you know?
Yeah, that is cool.
It is pretty cool. But let me see. Though it is they do commonly have 2 heads, and they possessed a whip-like tail with a hooked stinger at the end, which possess a strong and acidic crystallized poison.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you do not want to be stabbed by that poison. They possess powerful claws, which they could use to easily rip the flesh off of any being, and their scaly hide would be altered at the molecular level, as certain alloys would be fused with the Battle Hydra when it was created. Mm-hmm. To the point that they can even resist lightsaber strikes.
Because why not? Another fucking thing that can deflect lightsabers.
Hey man, when you're creating living weapons to yeet at the Jedi, you gotta have countermeasures against their lightsabers.
Very true. Don't show this to Koji.
Very true. When they were left on their own, you know, when Exar Kun was sacrificed and became a Sith sphere and trapped on Yavin 4 for all eternity, the Battle Hydras would, they had no master to direct them towards a purpose, and they would just revert to a common predatory animal and go into the wilds of Yavin 4. So
they're just big, oversized lizards.
Pretty much. At least until another Sith came around.
Until another Sith.
Yeah. And when a Sith isn't directing them, they're basically just animals.
Well, no shit.
Oh yeah, I also forgot. There might be some personal notes of how the Battle Hydra was created. Here we go. Because even though it is credited as a creation of Exar Kun, it might also have been created by Sarya Zion herself.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, quote, "A curious 2-headed reptilian creature was recently birthed from the afoul of 10,000 sacrificial birds. It is armed with a poison-tipped tail. I have classified it as the Battle Hydra, but I have yet to name the creature. My slaves are building an aviary for my free specimens." So it's also kind of an interesting implication that she basically sacrificed 10,000 birds to create this thing.
Jesus.
So yeah,
that's a lot of birds.
That is a lot of birds. But yeah, there's also the implication that it could be a modification of an already existing creature, or it could be a demon.
Yeah.
Also, there's an interesting note of Luke Skywalker being all like,
commenting on it.
battle hydras, or something like them, have settled into the ecosystem of Yavin 4. I had to persuade Jason not to take one as a pet.
That's funny.
It is so funny. I love those little comments in those books.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. But yeah, the battle hydras would be left in the wilderness of Yavin 4. They would
stay there.
Yeah. They would be seen as mindless but more shy creatures, and they are more likely to hide than actually fight, contrary to their fearsome appearance.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Though when searching for food, the battle hydra hunts alone. Being a solitary creature by nature, they would glide down through thermal currents when on the prowl and drop on any prey it spots. I just imagine, it just, huh? What's that? I'm like an animal or something, just,
That's
gotcha,
funny.
bitch. Though they are susceptible to influence or commands of dark side force users, as normally they would not attack unless cornered or commanded by a Sith Lord. During the era of the Old Republic, many Sith would utilize battle hydras as their own personal shock troopers. As it was only under their command that they would attack in great numbers. Battle hydras are known to be attracted to locations particularly strong in the dark side, with some theorizing that they might draw nourishment from such locales. When Exar Kun dived into the arts of Sith alchemy, the battle hydra was one of his many experiments alongside the Sith worm of the Tarant attack. But yeah, we'll fast forward a little bit. In the New Republic era, when Luke Skywalker was creating his first Jedi temple on Yavin 4, eventually the spirit of Exar Kun would reawaken and summon the battle hydras to besiege the Jedi temple.
Because why not?
Because why the fuck not?
I mean, he did choose Yavin 4 of all places, so...
Yeah. Luke Skywalker, I appreciate you and all that, but why the fuck did you have to choose Yavin 4?
He's a dumbass.
No. He is based. He accepted the Iron Knights into his ranks.
Fair enough.
He is based, Hannah. Anyway, second to last Sithspawn we will talk about, God damn it. Before we dive into that, what was the name of that dragon from Sereno?
The... Shit. It's covered in Dooku Jedi Lost.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna
It's such a
look it up.
weird word, but yeah. I think there's also an implication that the dragon might be a Sith creation because it was utilized by Darksiders in Sereno's Pass and everything. Now you know how I feel.
Taria Taka.
The Taria Taka, yeah. Dragons in sci-fi are so badass.
Yes,
Hannah.
they are. I totally forgot that fucking happened in the play.
Yeah. There's also... It isn't confirmed, of course, but there's the implication that that dragon creature might be a creation of the Sith.
No wonder Dooku was able to...
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we'll have to cover that audiobook one of these days. Yes. So good.
Yes. Read it or listen to it or read it for yourself. I have the physical copy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is so good. It's poor Sifo Dyas in that book.
No spoilers.
But anyway, it's kind of relevant because the second to last Sithspawn we will talk about is what is called, I don't have any pictures unfortunately, is what is called the Kayaf Dragon. It is most likely the largest Sithspawn ever created in the entirety of the Star Wars galaxy.
Because why the fuck not?
Yeah. It is described as
it's a dick fighting competition now.
It is described as a gigantic serpentine beast that was created by a named Sith Lord by the name of Darth Revan. Not to be confused with Revan.
Spelled the same way, or?
No, it's spelled very differently. R-I-V-A-N. Just replace the E with an I.
Like Riven.
Riven, yeah.
Okay.
And it was created to defend his personal fortress on the planet of Almas. The Kayav dragon is measured at around 656 feet in length, which, to give you a perspective, is twice as big as the Greater Crid dragon.
And that thing is already fucking huge. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
It's even bigger than Godzilla himself.
Oh my.
It's a big boy.
Holy shit, that's huge.
It is huge. And it is covered by a thick armor-like skin that has the exact color as the sands of the Almas wasteland. So it's basic sand and everything.
Okay.
For defense, the Kayav dragon has razor-sharp claws, and inside its mouth it has rows of small teeth as well as larger front teeth, so pretty much like a shark, basically.
Oh, no.
And its larger teeth are bigger than Wookiees.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And it is sharp enough to cut through most metals, just as easily as a lightsaber can.
How many of these are there in the galaxy?
One.
I fucking knew it.
It's just the one, Hannah.
It can stay there.
Yeah, it can stay on Almas for all we care. On top of that, due to its massive exposure to the dark side, it's exposed to the dark side presence at its creator's fortress. It is also force sensitive.
Of fucking course. A 25,000-year-old star dragon can be force sensitive. Why the fuck not?
It knows these following force powers: Battle Mind, Force Sense, and Telekinesis.
Oh my god.
It even has the ability to shoot firebolts of force lightning.
'Cause why not?
It is also immune to detection by force abilities, and due to its Sithspawn presence, it is rendered invisible to sensors designed to spot life forms.
Oh.
So it is invisible to all sorts of scanners and force sensing bullshit.
That's just bullshit at that point. Oh my god.
It is super bullshit.
The worst horror game ever.
No, it's basically the what was it? God damn it. What's that D&D monster that's super powerful?
The Tarrasque!
It's basically the Tarrasque, yes.
Yes, it is. It's probably as big as the fucking Tarrasque, too.
Yeah, I think it's bigger than the Tarrasque.
Oh, no.
I think you could easily kick a Tarrasque's ass.
Oh, God.
But
that's another nope on the list.
That is another nope. But fortunately, this thing is also... It isn't fully sentient, but it has a limited degree of self-awareness. To the point that it went to great lengths to avoid drawing the attention of the inhabitants of Almas.
That's surprising, okay.
Like, it doesn't want its presence to be known. Of course, it'll eat a couple of people here and there because, you know, it needs its food and everything. But it mostly just, it just stays underground, basically.
Okay.
And just eats the flora and fungus that's down there.
Okay.
But yeah, let me see. And it would occasionally prey on last travelers that will wander to the fortress of its former master and everything. Mm-hmm. And even, it would eat just enough that the population would not fluctuate too much. It's super smart.
This thing is terrifying all over. It's not just big with the mind of an animal. It's big and it's smart.
It is smart, yes.
You're fucked.
It also has a massive lifespan, as it has lived for over 1,000 years.
Yep, you're fucked.
Yeah, it's fucked. Not as old as Lady Tai, though, fortunately.
Yeah, Lady Tai is older, but still.
Yeah.
Fucking dragons, dude.
Yeah, dragons are horrifying in any genre.
Yes.
Well, except one very, very cute, cuddly kind, but semantics. It was created by Darth Riven during the turmoil of the new Sith Wars to literally combat armies of Jedi that might be thinking of besieging his fortress.
Well, that's a fucking great guard dog.
Yeah, it is a massive guard dog.
I want that.
It is. Yeah, I wish there were pictures of this thing because it sounds so fucking cool.
Someone needs to draw this.
Yeah. Fortunately, the Kai of... so eventually Darth Revan got driven off of his fortress, however they were able to.
How the fuck they did it, we don't know.
But yeah, the Kai of Dragon would roam the crust of the world undisturbed for the next millennia. Eventually, though, the Kai of Dragon would be considered a local mythology by the local inhabitants, mostly to scare misbehaving children. Like, don't go out past curfew, otherwise the Kai of Dragon will kill you.
Yep.
Even though there would be the occasional sightings of its scattered teeth that a traveler would come upon, it would still be considered a myth by the local population.
Okay.
I do think, so the Kai of Dragon, I believe, is basically the final boss for his RPG series. And as far as I can tell, it just drove the player characters away and then just fucked off into the crust of the world.
Well, at least it didn't TPK the party.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this would be a ultimate endgame boss, Hannah.
That's something you'd throw at us for the lulz.
Hey, man.
You did it with Spoojbot. Don't fucking lie to me.
You know that's fair. You know that's fair. But that's only for the lulz because I wanted to try them out. Anyway, speaking of my D&D campaign, we will be diving into, for anybody that's wondering, this is going past canon, legend, Star Wars stuff. This will be more about...
this is completely Isaac's creation.
Yeah, it's a homebrew / semi-legends creation. So yeah, the final...
Awesome segue there.
Yeah. So the final Sith spawn that we will be talking about is what is called the Sith Witchling, and you are very familiar with this thing.
Yes, we had to fight one.
Yeah, and it was
It is
horrifying.
not fun.
So yeah, the Sith Witchling, it is a much more recent Sith spawn, as it was roughly created during the Golden Age of the Republic, so long after the Sith got extincted and everything. And it was created right around the founding of one of the witches of Dathomir were created, which is around 600 years before the Battle of Yavin. And it was created through a unholy union between Sith alchemy and Night Sister magic.
Hey, the Night Sisters can create some pretty horrifying things.
I mean, they created Savage Opress, so yes.
Yes.
Or at least physically augmented him into that buffy beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Sith Witchling, it is rumored as a brainchild of a Night Sister Sith Lord, guided by the spirit of Sarya Zion, who is the creator of all the Sithspawn we talked about.
That's cool.
It is pretty cool, yeah. This is my own personal lore. It's probably not apparent in the book that appears in, which is the Supernatural Encounters book.
Which is not an official book.
So it's one of those subjects that's highly contested. Technically, it's part of Legends. You know, there were numerous, royalties signed off on it, but it never got released fully. And the one that I have right now is basically an expanded version. And the Sith Witchling got included in the book. A very small role, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I can see the bookmarks sticking out.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and read you a brief insert from the book of when it appears, Hannah. Okay.
Hey, that's a thick book.
It is a very...
With two C's.
Okay. Let me see if I can find the, okay. So, this is a section of a book where it's kind of a minor spoilers for anybody that are yet to read Supernatural Encounters, for this is, chapter 10. Chapter 11 in the book.
That took you a minute.
Yeah, I had to think for a little bit. V1, that's 11, right? Roman numerals, right? V1.
No, that's 6.
6-1, okay.
5 is V.
Okay, so book 61 then.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it's pretty far into supernatural encounters. But anyway, so for a brief context, this follows a Night Sister by the name of Sarya. And she's kind of just exploring the galaxy, learning dark side secrets, and she finds this holocron belonging to this Sith Lord by the name of Darth Dreadwar.
Darth Dreadwar.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of an interesting name, but yeah. So let me see. Okay, here we go. The holographic simulacrum of Darth Dreadwar was easily coaxed into talking as the real thing, and every bit as annoying. She feigned promises to spread his message to future Sith and demanded access to any alchemical enigmas it had on record. Most were standard and unhelpful, but one caught her attention. The incantation she had been one that Sarya Zion had been working on, which Dreadwar's Hollow said had been acquired from a wicked old woman on Dathomir. Which makes it our spell, Sarya said aloud. It involved the summoning of abominations from some place called the Cranial Worlds, that the Dark Lady called witchlings. So, she said aloud, monsters from hell. What's so special about these? She contemplated the fun she'd have using them against Zane and Fen. As she learned, whereas smoke demons and Sithspawn were killers with base cunning, witchlings were intelligent enough to serve as assassins and spies. Dreadwar's hologram spoke on about how Zane baked aptitude into the design, though even she had struggled with controlling them, and it was uncertain if she'd had access prior to her arrest and execution. Sarya tried not to fall asleep as he went on about quantum mechanics and evolutionary philosophy, until he finally returned to the part about their capacity for murder and infiltration, capable of re-knitting their flesh into the shape of their targets while inheriting the memories of their victims. Witchlings seem the perfect method by which to eliminate one's rivals.
Yeah. Fucking terrifying.
They are very terrifying. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit vague about this. The origin creature or sentient race that the Sith Witchling was created from is a sort of shape-shifting race, and that could mean a good majority of the shape-shifting races in the galaxy, like the Claudite, Sam Wiesel's race.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, Sam Wiesel's race.
But yeah, there are several others, but it's generally assumed that the Night Sister Sith Lord experimented on a Claudite and basically transformed into, the monster you know and love today.
No one love, no one fear.
Yeah, the Sith Witchlings are basically John Carpenter's The Thing, but much more terrifying.
Yeah, not as, like, limmy.
Yeah.
Because if you see The Thing, like I have,
Yeah.
it's just nothing but limbs. It's creepy.
Yeah. I would love to one day make an animation or commission somebody to make an animation of it going into its transformation cycle. Like, you hear bones snapping, you hear its...
Like fucking body horror.
Plenty of body horror with the Sith Witchling in general. Like, there's... there's several images where it has, like, a massive maw just about to chomp your face in and everything.
Jesus.
And, of course, there's my short film, Sith Witchling. Go watch it.
Plug it here.
It's so good. The art was made by legendary Dakos Gellum himself. So good. Please watch. Please.
It's good. It's very good.
Yeah. And another thing about the Sith Witchling that makes them so terrifying is that, like with most shape-shifting creatures or people that impersonate others, they try to pass themselves off as that person. For the Sith Witchling, they gain their exact memories.
That's what makes it even more terrifying.
Yeah, like your buddy could just go to the bathroom and then come back, and
you wouldn't know he got switched.
Yeah, you would not know at
fucking
all.
Terrifying.
I'll provide additional context for the D&D campaign because this Sith Witchling in particular was disguised as a Mandalorian CEO that the party was sent to retrieve.
Right, I remember this now. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a good while, yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing that makes it terrifying is that it radiates magical darkness around it.
Yeah, so even the light of a diatham couldn't go through that.
Yeah.
So we were all stuck on the ship in complete darkness.
Well, every once in a while, there would be red lights that go on periodically, kind of to illuminate the surroundings briefly before, going back into darkness.
Yeah, like in insert fucking movie here.
Yeah. Like the climax of Alien when
Yes.
Ridley did the self-destruct sequence.
Yes.
Let me see. It also has the ability to summon shadow clones.
Yes, because those tried to kill Liel's daughter. It's like, okay, no, leaving the fight, going to go save my kid.
Yeah, as the creator of the Sith Witchling, for any of you that are interested in introducing it to your D&D campaign, you also have the ability, these things are motherfucking smart. Like, not only do they have the knowledge and know the exact skills of the victims that they consume, they are pretty much sentient, unlike a majority of Sith spawn.
Again.
And another thing, they cannot, due to their magical nature with Sith alchemy and Night Sister magic, they do not appear on electronic devices.
Yeah, that's how Arjek didn't detect it on the ship, and it's like, what the fuck? This is bullshit.
And it was also kind of funny because Arjak at one point was like, here, I'll show you the camera of me getting the shit kicked out of me by this thing. And it's just Arjak just floating in the air everywhere.
Yes, I remember that. That was... oh, God.
Yeah,
it's very terrifying boss fight, but a very good boss fight. I'm
Yeah.
glad we all survived.
Yeah. I know, like, it's kind of typical for, evil-like creatures to remain evil. I do like in my personal headcanon where there's the potential of there to be a good Sith Witchling. Like, they are smart enough to have their own personalities and tastes and all that.
Oh, wow.
Like, I do have a table, which is role-playing as a Sith Witchling. Like, one of the choices that you could do is, what is it? Community under ideals. Interaction with other beings keeps me occupied. This is why I prefer to be surrounded by my minions. So yeah, these things, they're not two-dimensional beings. They have 3 dimensions, potentially.
Potentially, but from what you threw at us, it was nothing but terrifying.
Yeah, that particular one, let me see if I can remember. That particular one's name was, I also have a table for Sith Witchling names. That one was specifically named Vexiev.
I thought I remembered that name.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, out of character, because the only person who did know his name died!
Haname, yeah. He got blown the fuck up by Mandalore the Phoenix.
No, he blew Mandalore the Phoenix up.
He still blew himself the fuck up, though.
Yes.
But yeah, Vexiev, what was his personality trait? Here we go, I think. No, god damn it. Okay, here we go. His personality trait is, I love playing with my food, watching them squirm in panic and fear.
That's not fucking fair.
So yeah, if any of you are aspiring DMs and want to give your, players a scary challenge in the middle of a 1 session or something like that, the Sith Witchling is an absolutely great creature for you to use. They are CR8, which is pretty good for a mid-level party.
Yeah, the Mandalorian almost died.
Yeah. one of the few times Arjag actually got hurt in the entire campaign.
Yes, he almost died.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
And,
oh no.
And in case anybody's wondering, if these things are so powerful, how is it that they have not conquered the galaxy by now? It's also, okay, so out of character, it's just more of a limitation of there's so few of them, and probably the knowledge has been lost to time at this point. But also in lore, they are such a unique creation. Like, they're a blend of Sith alchemy and Night Sister magic. Only like 10 in existence could ever be in the galaxy.
Okay.
Which is a very minuscule number in comparison to billions and trillions of beings of the galaxy.
True. But they're still fucking terrifying if they're the same as the one we fought.
Yeah, exactly. It would be like looking for a needle in a haystack for those Sith witchlings.
Fair.
But yeah, the Sith witchling, I am so proud of it. It's gotten a life of its own, got itself in its own book, and I am so proud of my little baby.
Good achievement, Isaac.
Yeah. God, it's been like 4 years since I created this motherfucking thing.
It's been that long?
It has been that long, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, you actually got it published.
Yeah, and I am sharing it with everybody on this podcast.
Will the stat block be available?
Yes, it will. It will publicly be available for you to look and enjoy. And I recently add the addition of a favored Sith witchling, which is a much more beefed up version of it.
Oh, fuck! You better not throw this at us.
Well, we shall see, Hannah.
What's the next episode gonna be about?
Immediately trying to change the topic. So before we go that is our episode of Can Mayonnaise Kill a Jedi? Or in this case, how many times can the Sith diddle the wildlife of a galaxy?
Or how many times can Sith break the laws of nature?
Or go through their god complex. But yeah, for our next episode, it's gonna be our 50th episode. Would have been cool if it was our Halloween episode, but ergo, that's not how the order of things works.
Shit happens.
But yeah, it will be... I'm probably going to need a couple of weeks to gather material for this episode because...
Oh boy, this is going to be big.
Next episode, the 50th episode, we will be exploring one of the more, I'm going to say, kind of fan favorite sections of the old Legends era of Star Wars. We will be exploring the Dark Empire series.
Oh, shit!
Yeah!
Well, looks like I have some reading to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those popular topics that one of our Patreons keeps begging us to.
That's very fair.
Yes, we've been kind of neglecting the original trilogy era of Star Wars, but I think it's time for us to redeem ourselves, Hannah.
That is kind of fair because it's more out of our wheelhouse because we're more familiar with the prequels and all that. And the sequels,
Yeah, at least it's not going to be surrounding the sequel trilogy this time.
But I'm interested to cover the trilogy, the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know that much about it. And it would help me, I think, connect more to my dad, because that's what he grew up with.
Oh, yeah. Because, okay, we'll save that for that episode, because we're just going into personal details at this point. But I have a QA prepared for us, by the way.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
That's awesome!
So yeah, we'll save that for the 50th episode, Hannah.
That's gonna be so cool.
It is gonna be
I cannot wait for it.
And I hope the thumbnail will be oozing with drip. But yeah, thank you everybody.
I gotta read the Heir to the Empire books now.
Yeah. Thank you everybody so much for supporting this lovely journey that me and Hannah have been going down for the past year or so. And I hope we could do more episodes like this in the future. Talking about the Sith Witchling was a lot of fun. Sithspawn, it's one of those things of Star Wars that I really appreciate. And I do hope one day we get introduced to more Sithspawn, even if it is in the current canon of Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you told me there was a Sithspawn version of a Bantha, I would totally believe you on that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a Sith spawn of any creature in this galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. The possibilities are endless, Hannah.
Yes.
But anyway, before I prattle on, once again, thank you everybody so much. The people who have subscribed to our channel and all the Patreons that have been donating for our Patreon page and allowing us to continue making content like this.
Hey, even the people who have liked our videos or just, seen our videos.
Yeah.
We appreciate you so goddamn much.
We appreciate you to the very bottom of our hearts.
It's what helps us keep, wanting to do this.
Yeah.
Especially because, seeing the Pius Dea episode get so fucking popular. That kind of gave me the want to keep this going.
Yeah, it's so good.
And we could not have done it without all of you.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you guys are having a spoopy time. Make sure to watch all the classic horror movies like John Carpenter's A Thing, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, all of those good shit.
Hellraiser!
But anyway, hope you have a wonderful rest of October and see you in No Nut November.
Happy Samhain!
Alright, may the force be with you.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!